To start off our list is my dad. He was born on January 8th in 1967. Then it's my mom, 19th of February 1970, and my bigger brother Matt on July 10th, 1986. And then we get to me, August 4th, 1996. And then finally my little sister, June 5th, 1999. And Jaden, who we adopted on March 14th of 2013. On April 2nd, 1994, my parents got married, and then 2 years later, I came along, which changed everything, considering the fact that I'm the first one on my mom's side, and the first girl on my dad's side. Just, their lives changed forever. And then another 3 years, my sister came along, and again, their lives changed. Not only did they have one little person to look after, they had two. Another 14 years later, and we adopted my little brother, Jaden. He came to us from a not-so-nice situation, but from now on, he's ours. And then there's my brother Matt, who my mom graciously gave up for adoption when she was just 16 years old and still in high school. My parents knew from the beginning at 7 months when I started walking that I would probably be on the move a lot. And that's when they decided I was going to dance. So in the first grade, I joined my first dance company, and it just blossomed from there. I did it all through elementary school, straight through 5th grade. But once 5th grade ended, I decided to leave my dance company, even though we had gone on so many trips together. But that summer, I went to East Valley Children's Theater and had a blast. So I went back and met my surrogate brothers, Ben and Scott. When I started the 7th grade, I discovered color guard, which was great, and I continued it all through the 8th grade. This was my favorite thing to do. Honestly, it was like a drug, and it's a good thing because it got me through one of the hardest times. That summer, between 8th grade and freshman year, I had the amazing opportunity to go overseas for an entire month without my parents. I made so many friends as we toured France, and then after that we went to Italy, and then finally we spent about a week in Greece. Once I came back, there were a lot of hugs and a lot of crying. As soon as I came home, I started my first band camp at Higley High School. My freshman year was definitely my favorite season, probably because it was my first, but also I just made so many friends, and honestly they accepted me for everything, and it was great. That spring, I went to Mountain View's prom with Scott and Ben. We had so much fun. And then that summer, I turned 16 and got my license. And sophomore year was an interesting season. We went on so many adventures for food and drinks right before games. And then I went to Thespian Festival, which is an actual thing. And my friends and I always hung out together. And then junior year rolled around, and color guard kind of bit back, but not before I went to homecoming. It was fun. I also started my modeling career with my first fashion show, and it was interesting It's a different experience being a model. It's not what everyone thinks. And then I started my winter season over at Higley High School, and it just went downhill. Once that started, I made the decision to move to Perry for my senior year, and it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned? He said, will you defeat...
Senior night was probably one of the better nights of that entire season, just because I got to be recognized. And then homecoming, and I went with Jessica Dawson and Max Wetzel, who I happened to be dating at the time, but it was so fun. After that, we went up to California for a competition and to go perform at Disneyland. Even though we didn't win anything, it was still a lot of fun to be there with all those fantastic people. And yeah, those are all the seniors on band that are leaving this year. Just before winter season started, I found out something terrible had happened. But I couldn't let that get in the way of me finishing my last season up with Perry High School, just because another friend of mine got lost somewhere. And then after the season was over, prom just happened, and I went with a bunch of friends, and it was just a lot of fun because I didn't have to deal with anyone that I didn't want to.
I don't know where you're going, but do you got room for one more troubled soul? I don't know where I'm going, but I don't think...
Once I'm done with high school, I plan to go to Chandler Gilbert Community College for 2 years, and then up to NAU to finish up and get my criminology degree, and then become a criminologist myself and help people. Eventually, I hope to expand these two families with one of my own, but that's not for a while. Trust me, it's not.